Okay, that's great, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got our final presentation for the day. I'd like to present that. I'd like to welcome our Paul Thompson. And could we please have Mark Wilson come up as well. Round of applause, Paul Thompson, Mark Wilson. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it feels funny walking down to this by quiet kind.
Thank you, everybody. It is a great pleasure to introduce Mark Wilson. But before I start, I just want to get someone else to come up here who I think, if I'm well allowed to, do the induction for Mark, and that is Phil Goods. Phil Goods is our president of Boxing Australia. So Phil, you're somewhere around up the back. If you could just come up, I'll get you to do the presentation later on. Thank you. I'm just going to read out Mark's career, and then we'll go back and we'll ask a few questions to Mark, because Mark is like most boxers. We don't talk about ourselves, we're quite happy to answer questions. So I've spoken to Mark about this, and I'll just read out his list. Excuse me for reading off a piece of paper, but Mark has got a lot of achievements, and there's no way in the world I can remember them all, so I'll start off. Mark started his boxing career in 1971 in his hometown of Cunnamulla. Mark had very little to do with the amateur boxing and had very few fights before he started coaching. Mark started his coaching career in around about 1994. Some of the achievements Mark has received: he got Order of Merit for the sport of boxing in 2017, National Futures Coaching from 2010 to 2015, Queensland Coaching Coordinator from 2002 to 2015. He was a coach of the Tokyo Olympics, where we missed out on medals. Well, sorry, we got a bronze medal, which was our second medal since the Seoul Olympics. He coached the 219 youth championships, that was 2010 and 2014, winning 1 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze. Completed 11 world championships from 2001 to 2019, winning 3 gold, 2 silver, 5 bronze. And some of the places he visited was Azerbaijan, Hungary, Korea, Morocco, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine and Russia. Mark was also the coach of the Oceania Championships and Youth Junior Olympic Selection Trials in 2008. He's also done 6 international tournaments from 2004 to 2020. This included Golden Gloves of Cuba and Finland, and Serbia and Taiwan. During this time, Mark has achieved 19 golds and 13 silver and 7 bronze. Mark has also taken away 18 Queensland teams to 20 national championships. Sorry, that should be 20 and 20, but I've just made a blue there, so sorry for that, Mark. Just go back to some of the questions. Mark, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. One is, if you could tell us all about the service of boxing, the Order of Merit for the service of boxing.
Yeah, I'll give you a call later on that question.
Well, as I said, I've been there around a fair bit, and I think it's just a reward for being around in 2017. Yeah. Boxing Australia awarded me their Order of Merit. I was sort of stepping away from the national program for a while, and I received that from Boxing Australia, which was very well thanked. Yeah.
Also, Mark, as a futures coach, if you could just explain to the people what the futures coach for Australia, the role represented.
Basically that was to look after our under 19, under 17 boxers. Each year we have a Youth World Championships and the Junior World Championships, so it's just basically looking after the national, all of our boxers from around there that were going to be, win their way for selection, and once they were selected, they come to my role, I go around and look at them and basically take them to the World Championships.
We'll move up another step, the Olympics, which is something we all achieve towards. Just give us a rundown on the Olympics and the disappointment.
Well, that was a big thrill to make the actual Olympics. I just missed out a couple of previous ones in selection process, but make this time was great, and also to that we got our first medal in 33 years. That was a really big thrill. Young Harry Garside, he won it. I thought a couple of others were a bit unlucky. Sky Nicholson should have got a bronze. I thought she won her quarter final. But yeah, just the whole mental process was a great thrill to be at. I beat the two youth Olympics, the first two ever youth Olympics, but the real Olympics there was great. Even though COVID sort of spoiled it a bit.
Yeah, I think it's very hard, and Jeff and Mark have been lucky enough myself to be there. It's something you can't explain to people what the Olympics are. Would that be true?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just everything. So, like as I said, COVID sort of put a bit of a restriction on it. Everyone had to wear masks, but they were supposed to be isolated, but there was no social distancing in the village. But it's just a great thrill to be around all from the other sports. Like nearly every second morning, I'd sit down and have a coffee with Kyle Lee, the guy who was very good at it. He was over there South African support, and a few coffees with Paddy Mills, the basketballers. It was just great sitting and chatting with these guys.
So if I could go on and ask you another question. Out of the World Championships, Olympics, who was the best boxer you've witnessed?
Vasily Lomachenko. That was in Morocco in 2006 when he was a youth. I identified him then. I thought he was going to be something special. Our own boys, I believe a bloke called Damien Hooper, I took him away. He won the Olympic gold in the youth first ever. He was a brilliant fighter. Tyson Fury was at Morocco too, but he got beat in the quarterfinals. Didn't think he'd go on to do what he's doing now. But there's been a lot of them, like our own, our first ever world champion here, Paige Cummings, Clay Waterman. I trained him from a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. He won gold over in Kazakhstan. He was a brilliant kid at that age. He could do anything. He did a lot, yeah.
So I'm now going to give you 6 names for the amateurs you've trained, and I'll just run through the 6 and you can just give us a breakdown on each one of those boxes after I've completed. Justice Hooney, Clay Waterman, who you've just announced, Hooney, Brendan Wilson, Julia Ryan and Karen O'Brien.
Well, they were basically, like Karen and Julie, they were two female boxers that were very good. They were the trailblazers in women boxing way back when it wasn't recognised as it is now. They won international tournaments. I think Julie was 2 times Asian champion. She was a very strong girl. Karen was a very brilliant boxer, southpaw. If they had been, like way female boxing is now, I think they could have achieved a lot more. Justice Mooney, well, we all know Justice is a world champion. He was a 10-year-old. He was brilliant. We're flying out next Friday to Cancun, Mexico, where he won his first fight back from injury. Clay, I just said about Clay, was a brilliant. My own son Brendan, he was 5 times Australian champion. He was the one that started this all off. And Woody Mooney, he was brilliant, but he just, he never reached the heights of the others because the side attractions got him, but he was most likely the most talented of everyone that played.
Okay, I'll also now give you another 6 names, and these also from the professional ranks that you train. Joe Lapataya, Justice Hooney, you've just been through, Brett Rice, Chris McCullen, Tyrone Tonga, and Janika Johnson.
Well, Chris McCullen, he was the one that got me into the pros. He rang me one day and he said, "Oh, fella, I want to make a comeback and go to the pros. What do you think?" I said, "Well, all right, let's do it." So, Chrissy, well, we achieved a lot there. He won the Australian title twice. He won it and lost it and won it back. I think we overachieved there. Chris took up boxing very late in life. I think he was 25 years old when he started boxing. And he had a 25 career. I think he won 15, lost 5. But in the pros, I think he was 16-1. So, yeah, he was brilliant. Janika, I had her for a first 6 pro fights. She was unbeaten. Went to Melbourne and she's gone on and won a world title and then lost it. Justice is just starting his pro career. I believe he'll go into great heights. Brent, I was fortunate enough to take his amateur Brent with his dad Bob, who's come down. We had a great relationship. He helped me start boxing out of my club. And then when we turned pro, I couldn't do the pros for a while because of amateur status. Once you're on a national side, amateur coaches couldn't do the pros. And then after that stopped, I linked up with Bob and yeah, we went on to win an Australian title and defend it. And then obviously January last year or so, I had Ryan when he was in there, which was at the 2 World Championships at Kazakhstan, where he won the gold after playing on it. We had 2 that day, never had one. And then he got a bronze in Armenia next year at the Youth World Championships after he'd been to Olympics. Where he was, sort of thing. And then I was asked to come on board last year to take over his training. And very fortunate we beat a hero, by the legend Morris Paredes, to win the IBF World title. And I had his jaw broken in 2 places in that fight. We talked about Scott, Johnny Sattler in rugby league. It's a bit different to boxing, you're getting hit. And he didn't tell me anything about his first fracture on this side. He didn't say a word about it, I didn't know that. But I knew after the 11th round that his jaw was hanging there. And it had been any longer, I had a bad decision to make. But no, 1 round to go and you're winning the fight comfortable. And how little box was good. And the referee was there and he told me after the fight that he was looking close and he wasn't ever going to stop with that 1 round. So we got that world title, but unfortunately we paid the price and he's been out for a long time. We had a lot of ups and downs from since then, in and out of the ring. And finally we got to get back in that ring in London last week, last Saturday night. And most of you know what the guy absolutely destroyed his massive opponent. And he's going to very big things from here on.
Mark, you've had a great achievement. What about being here? I'm just going to ask Philip Goods to give a couple of words from Boxing Australia on what Mark has done for Boxing Australia.
Thanks, Paul. Mark's been a great ambassador for our sport. Like everything he's done and more, it's just amazing. Like he's walked through a lot of grassroots athletes, and they've gone to an exceptional height in world boxing. Like he's produced two world champion boxers. Probably one of the few amateur coaches that we can say that have done that. So he's an exceptional coach in the way he presents, but not only what he does with the athletes, but with other coaches as well. He's a person that can coach another coach and shares a lot of information. I know myself, I've learned a lot off Mark over the years. We met in 1997, first up, and we've been friends ever since. From that first day I met him, I could tell he was a people's person, and he's a great ambassador to the sport. And no matter where he is or who he works with, he brings a lot to the sport. So congratulations, Mark, and we're very proud of you from Boxing Australia, and I'm sure all of Australia is incredibly proud.
Well, we're finished. I'd just like to thank Professional Boxers Association for this achievement. As I said, a bit embarrassed, but I'd like to thank everyone for it. I'd like to thank everyone in my crew that came today. Most of you who came from my tables, people that helped me through my coaching career. One special guy I give thanks to is Alan Nicholson. Just a coach from Colombella, travelling down every weekend with a team of boys, driving 7-8 hours to get a tournament. Alan sort of recognised when I come down and said, "You're an idiot, you've got to be mad, you must love this sport." You drive that way, close to 27 hours drive. And Alan's been a big support of my career over the years. There's quite a few here. But most of all, I'd like to thank my wife for most probably allowed me the last 23 years to travel the world and with this sport that we love. It's great. I thank everyone for coming out today.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Ryan. Presentation. Thank you, Paul. That's great. Just for all the inductees, ladies and gentlemen, we had Kevin Wagstaff, Colin Bell, Tyrone Tongia, Cliff Sonarden, and Mark Wilson. One more huge round of applause. Now we're just about wrapped up. I'll just get Brad up here for a minute.